Hi everyone, today's class we're going to be producing a 2D drawing using AutoCAD software for beginners. Here is a drawing which we are going to be producing. So now the next step is for us to open our AutoCAD software. So here's my AutoCAD software which I'm going to open. For those that haven't encountered or used AutoCAD software before, today I'm going to be showing them how the AutoCAD opening screen looks like, and also the AutoCAD user interface, and also other features related to AutoCAD. So I'm going to open our AutoCAD software. So here's the AutoCAD software 2021 is loading, although you can use any other version. So after the loading process, the first thing we're going to see is our AutoCAD opening screen. Yeah, this is how our AutoCAD opening screen looks like. You see, it contains our start drawing, the opening files, which means if you have some related drawings that you've already drawn and you wanted to edit or work on, and you have our open a sheet set and other feature related to it, but you want to start a new drawing. So we're going to start drawing. That means we are creating a new file. So after starting a new drawing, it's going to open on AutoCAD user interface, which at the top of the AutoCAD user interface, which is this, it contains the ribbon panel that contains all the tools which we are going to be used to create our drawing or to complete our drawing. So this is our cursor, and also our command line. Here is it, that's at the button at the AutoCAD interface, which shows or indicates all the commands which we are going to be using. So before starting the drawing, let's look into our 2D drawing component that we want to draw. So we have a 2D component of 14 mm diameter, 14 mm length and 10 mm height. So first we're going to draw a rectangle of 14 mm length and 10 mm height. Before drawing our rectangle, although we're going to make sure our drafting setting, all the boxes on our drafting settings are being checked. So on locating our drafting settings, we're going to type OSnap. We'll click on OK. Yeah, on mine all boxes have been checked, but if yours all boxes are not been checked, you select all and click OK. So the next step we're going to do, although the drawing has been given to us in millimeter, all our units are given to us in millimeter, so we're going to check our drawing unit to see if ours also is in millimeter, and if it's not in millimeter, we're going to change it to millimeter. So in locating our drawing unit, we'll type on units, we'll click OK. Yes, mine is given to me in millimeter, but if yours is not given to you in millimeter, you click here and select millimeter, then you click OK. So in our home tab draw panel, we can locate our rectangle tool. So click on our rectangle tool. After clicking on the rectangle tool, next to the drawing cursor, you will see the coordinate for the start of the line. So I can click on anywhere. So I click here. It shows me to specify the other points of my rectangle. But in our drawing, a specific dimension has been given to us, which is 14 mm length and 10 mm height. So we'll click on, we'll type 14 mm, which is the length. Then we'll click on comma. Then we'll now input the height, which is 10 mm. Then we'll click on OK. So you can see it's kind of little, but we can zoom it. We can confirm it to see if our dimension is accurate. So we'll go to our annotation panel and click on dimension. Then we'll select this point, and the other point here is 10 mm, which our height is accurate, and we'll do the same for our length also, the first point and the second point, which is 14, so it's accurate. So our next step is for us to produce this certain shape. So in producing this certain shape, we know a distance from here to here has been given to us, which is 3 mm, while the height is being given to us as 3 mm also. But the complete height from here to here, which is this point, is given to us as 10 mm. So now we're going to draw a line starting from this point, 3 mm length and 10 mm height. Going back to our AutoCAD software, so we'll go to our draw panel, select line, we'll come to this end point, click on here, we'll type on 3 mm length, then the height 10 mm height. So the distance from here to here, which is this, is 3 mm. So we're going to move this line upward to a distance of 3 mm. So type 3 and we'll click on enter. So now we're going to trim this end. We'll remove this, this, and this. So in trimming this, we're going to select this, then we'll go to our modify panel. So in our modify panel, we have a trim tool. So click on our trim tool. We'll select this, and we'll select this. So we have trimmed these 3 parts. So click on enter. So our next step is for us to chamfer this. So in chamfering this, we know that a diameter has been given to us. The diameter of this cycle is given to us as 4 mm, which means the distance from here to here is 4 mm, while the distance from here to here is 2.4. So 4 mm plus 2.4 is going to give us 6.4. So in determining the distance from here to here, we're going to say 14 mm minus 3, which is going to give us 11, then minus this distance. So 11 minus 6.4 is going to give us 4.6. So the distance from here to here is 4.6. So now our other distance, which is the distance from here to here, we can also determine that by saying the distance from here to here is 3, while the distance from here to here is 7. So is 4, sorry. So 4 plus 3 is going to give us 7. So, and the total distance, which is the total height, is given to us as 10. So 10 minus 7, which is 4.3, 4 plus 3 is going to give us 3. So which means the distance from here, this point to this point, which is this point here to this point, is 3. So in making our chamfer, we'll go back to our AutoCAD. Our same modify panel, we'll find a fillet tool. So there's an option there. We'll click on the option. We'll see our chamfer tool. So select our chamfer, but it's given to us in diameter. So we'll click on D and we'll press enter. So now it's told us to specify the first chamfer distance. So we'll make here our first chamfer distance and here our second chamfer distance. But our first chamfer distance, we see that is 4.6. So input 4.6 and click enter. And our second chamfer distance, we see that it is 3. So include 3 and press enter. So, and it also tells us to select our first line and our second line. So first select our first line, then select our second line. So we can see that our chamfer has been generated successfully. So our next step is for us to draw a cycle, which is this cycle and this cycle, and also a fillet here and a polygon. So in drawing this, we know that the fillet here, the radius is given to us as 3, which means the distance from here to here is 3, which is same as the center of this cycle. That means the distance from here to here is given to us as 3, and the radius of the cycle is 1.6. So we can draw a line from here and also draw another line. We can locate it to be 3, then bring it upward. Can delete this, extend this upward in order to get our other point. But the other cycle there, we are giving a diameter of 4 mm, which means the length from here to here is 4 mm. That means the center of the cycle is going to be 2 mm from this origin, and here is 3 mm from this origin. So for us to get 2 mm from this origin, we can copy this same line and move it 1 mm from this, which is going to be 2 mm from this. So in doing that, let's go back to our AutoCAD file. We'll select on this, click on this line. Then after clicking on the line, we'll right click on it. We'll see copy selection. We can select a point either here or this point or this point. So after selecting, we'll just draw it by the left and we'll click on 1. We need a distance of 1 from this line, from this same line. So click on enter. So we can see that we have another line to copy at a distance from 1. So we can confirm, going to our annotation panel to confirm our distance of the line if is 2 mm. So we click on this point and this point, we can see it's given to us as 2 mm. And the other one also, we can also click this point and this point is 3 mm. So now it's for us to draw our cycle. Our first cycle is given to us as 1.6 radius, while the second cycle is given to us as 4 diameter. So in drawing our first cycle, we'll see, go to our draw panel, we'll see our cycle 2. In our cycle 2, we have different type of cycle, which we have the center radius, center diameter, 2 point, 3 point, and so forth. But the first one we're dealing with radius, while the second one we're dealing with diameter, which is the upper one. So the down one, which is the radius, we'll click on our center radius. So our center radius, we'll select the center point which we want to draw. So we'll left click on it. After left clicking, we'll input the radius, which is 1.6, and press enter. So our radius has been drawn. So the second cycle is a diameter. So go to our draw panel, we'll select our center diameter, we'll come to the point, that's our center point of the cycle, which is the semicircle, and it's given to us as 4 mm. So we input 4 mm and click enter. So we can see that our cycle has been drawn. But we know that in our drawing we are given a semicircle and a polygon, so we can draw this polygon before trimming our cycle here. So let's go on drawing this polygon. Now let's delete this line since we are through with this cycle. So we can delete this line. Upon drawing our polygon, we're going to go to our draw panel. We'll locate our polygon tool. So we'll click on our polygon tool. Yeah, it tells us to specify the number of sides. So in our drawing, we are given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides in our drawing, and the diameter is given to us as 2. So for us to get the radius, we're going to be, and we know that radius is equals to diameter all over 2, and our diameter is 2, which is 2 divided by 2 is going to be 1. So we'll go back to our AutoCAD, we'll select the number of sides, which is 6, we'll press OK, then we'll specify the center of the polygon. So here's our center of the polygon. We'll left click, we need an inscribed in cycle. So, and the radius of the cycle, we say that is 1. We press OK. So now we are left for us to trim this, and to fillet this also. So for us to trim this, which is for us to get our semicircle and also remove this, we'll click here and we'll click on our cycle. So we'll go to our modify panel, click on trim, we'll come to the half of the semicircle, click on it, we've trimmed it, we've removed it, and come to this other part and click on it, we've also trimmed here. So press on escape. So we can remove here this and this since we are through with it. So now we are left to fillet this, and for us to fillet this, we are given the radius as 3 mm. So we'll go same to our modify panel. Here's our fillet tool. We'll click on our fillet tool. Since it's a radius, so we're going to click on R and press OK. And it told us to specify the radius of the fillet, which is 3 mm, and we'll press OK. So we'll now select our first object and our second object. Here's it. We make a fillet of 3 mm radius. So now we've gotten our complete drawing. So it's for us to make our dimension of the drawing for us to get our fully completed drawing. So now making our dimension, we'll go to the annotation panel. On our annotation panel, we have our dimension option, and on the dimension option, we have the linear dimension, align, angular, arc length, radius, diameter, ordinate, jog dimension. We have different types of dimension. Like for this, we can either, although in our drawing we're given a radius, in the dimension is given to us in radius, while this is given to us in diameter, right from here to here is linear. From this point to this point, we're going to make use of an align dimensioning. So let's start with our dimensioning. So we're starting with our linear dimensioning. We'll go to our annotation panel, go to our dimension option, we'll click on our linear. So it tells us to specify our first extension line origin. So we want to know the distance from here to here. Let's start from here, that's the length from here to here. We'll select our first extension line. It tells us to specify the second extension line, so we specified it. We'll drag it downward and we'll left click. But we notice that both our dimension text and our dimension arrow are large. So for us to edit this feature, we're going to locate our dimension style manager. And for us to quickly locate our dimension style manager, we'll type on dim style. Here's our dim style. We'll click on OK. Here's our dim style. So we are going to edit the current dimension style that we have. So we'll modify it. That means we are editing it. I'm not going to be discussing everything we have in our modified dimension style. So based on our tutorial, I'm going to be discussing about the symbols and arrow page and the text page. So starting from the symbols and arrows page, we'll go down to our arrow size. Since in our drawing you can see that the thickness of the arrow is kind of large, so I can reduce mine to, let me see, 0.5. Click enter. So I can see it's kind of small, but let me reduce the text height and see how it will look like. So the text height is also 3, so let me reduce mine to 0.5. Click enter. In order to save our modified dimension style, I'm going to click on OK, then we'll close. So now we can see that both our text and our arrow are all reduced to a moderate size now. So we'll complete our dimension by clicking on linear dimensioning. We'll dimension the height in this place. We'll repeat dimensioning this point to this point, which is 4. We'll repeat dimensioning this point to this point, which is 10, and also do for this point to this point, which is 2.4. So now we'll go for the align dimensioning. From this point to this point, here we have it to be 5.49. And also, okay, we are left with one linear dimensioning, which is the polygon from this point to this point, given to us as 2. Then the radius, we go to radius dimensioning. This is given to us as 1.6, and also this is given to us as 3. Then our diameter dimensioning of this semicircle, which is given to us as 4 mm diameter. So here is our fully completed drawing. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please subscribe to our channel for more detailed step-by-step projects on AutoCAD for beginners. Thank you.